I'm back with another album review. For today's review, I'll be talking about a band called Electric Apricot. Electric Apricot is a band started up by Les Claypool in 2004, primarily for the film Electric Apricot, Quest for Festeroo. This is a mockumentary that Les wrote, directed, and starred in. The film centers around a filmmaker making a music documentary about Electric Apricot traveling to a music festival called Festeroo. The band consists of Les Claypool on drums and vocals, Adam Gates on bass, Brian Kehoe on guitar and lead vocals, and Jonathan Cordy on keyboards. Each member had a pseudonym for the film. Les was Lapland Lapdog Miklovich. Adam was Steve A. West Trousdale. Steve A. West Trousdale. Brian was Stephen Gordo Gordon, and Brian was Herschel Tambor Brillstein. That being said, today's review is on the movie's soundtrack. I should mention that Electric Apricot performed on the first 4 songs, as well as the last one, which means they only performed on 5 of the songs. The other 7 songs were performed by other jam band artists. The first 4 Electric Apricot songs were recorded at Rancho Relaxo on May 25th, 2005. The music supervisors were Les Claypool, Jason McHugh, Jeff Fura, and Leanne LaJoy. The art direction was done by Vartan Kurgian. The production manager was Shannon Steckloff. The product manager was Connie Choi. The soundtrack was mastered by Gavin Lurson at Lurson Mastering in Hollywood. The film went straight to DVD on March 13th, 2008. The soundtrack was released 5 days later on Hippo Records, which is a label that Universal Music Group primarily uses for reissues and compilations. And the soundtrack sort of is a compilation. Now let's talk about the songs. The intro to this soundtrack is "Hey, Are You Going to Burning Man?" This is actually the very first song by Electric Apricot. Next track is "Backroads of My Mind." After that is "Uncle Pete's Party." Next up is "Sugar Train Blues." Up next is "Fishing Blues" by Henry Thomas. This track was actually recorded on June 13th, 1928. This means it will be 100 years old in 5 years at the time of me making this video. And that's followed up by "Playing in the Band" by Bob Weir. This is actually a cover of the song by Grateful Dead, and the original version came out in '71. On a side note, Bob Weir appears in the movie as himself. He followed up with "Time to Confess" by Gov't Mule. What comes next is "Shady Grove" by Jerry Garcia and David Grisman. This is actually a cover of an American folk song from the early 1900s. What comes after that is "Direwolf" by Stiff Dead Cat. This is actually a cover of a song by Grateful Dead, and the original version is from 1970. The following track is "Everybody Oughta Move" by Michael Franti and Spearhead. The track after that is "Calling All the Sandworms" by Larry Lalonde. Now, Larry is actually the guitarist for Primus, by the way. The finale of this album is "Yog Sagoff." This is a live track that Electric Apricot recorded at the Sweetwater Saloon in Mill Valley, California on May 25th, 2005. I couldn't find any information on how the soundtrack performed commercially. However, I have seen that AllMusic gave it a 7.3 out of 10. There are also people on Amazon and Discogs who liked it as well. Now for my thoughts. Personally, I think this is a good soundtrack. It was quite interesting seeing Les Claypool work on a movie soundtrack. After all, he wrote, directed, and starred in the movie. Yeah, it's too bad there wasn't any other material from Electric Apricot. it's unlikely that they'll have a reunion. But I've said before that Les Claypool has worked on a lot of other stuff that came after this. Overall, I recommend checking out the soundtrack, and go watch the movie if you haven't seen it. Now's the part where I question you. Have you listened to Quest for Festeroo? If so, what do you think about it? What's your favorite song from it? Have you watched the movie Electric Apricot, Quest for Festeroo? Well, let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to press the notification bell to be notified of future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back soon with another review.